Hello, welcome to report about Berserk Rocket Hawk. I ended up using all 3 ships, and the result was 11 kills and 3 losses. I expected a bit more from the frigate as powerful as a Hawk, but this challenge forces some very uphill battles, so maybe I just got a bit unlucky with targets that I had. I will show you all the fights. I will not comment on every fight in detail because most of them were not that interesting, but I will mention some of the key moments of these fights. And if you want detailed commentary on the most interesting fights, what I had when you can check out the Patreon, and I will have separate videos on every like a close and instructive fights. So for the first Hawk, it lived for like 20 minutes. I had a fight against Tristan first, and when I found like 10 minutes later a Navy Exequror inside the Plex, this is the fight that you actually want to take in a Hawk. Blaster Navy Exequrors do not really apply close range against afterburner frigates, even though this Exequror has 2 webs, so you just kill all the drones on their orbit 500. Unfortunately, this one wasn't solo. You can see that I checked the discount a few seconds ago, and I noticed the second Navy Exequror on the discount, and this is why I started to aligning out, trying to escape. But since the first Navy Exequror has 2 webs, it just takes too long for me to burn away, and the second Exequror manages to get a secondary tackle in time. And this is it. I cannot do anything against 2 Navy Exequrors. So I just save my capsule. But in general, like if you fight 1v1 against Navy Exequror, this is the fight you absolutely want to take in a Hawk. I will show you. I had actually one of proper fights, 1v1s against a Navy Exequror, and I will show you this 1v1 a bit later. So this was my first Hawk. I went to station and reshipped, and went to one of the insurgency zones in the same war zone. So this is my second Hawk. This one, if I remember correctly, lived for a while. I had something like 7 or 8 kills in this Hawk, which is pretty reasonable. This fight is nothing special. It's against Catalyst and Algos, but they were, I think, new players or like some farmers, and they never really applied any damage to me. So it was just 2 easy kills. Nothing to comment on really. I think the next one is also pretty forgettable. I found Atron on the gate, and Atron was AFK, I guess, so I just killed him. But the one after that was pretty good. The next one will be against Navy Catalyst and the Kitsune. Pretty weird fight. They tried to push me off a Plex with a Navy Catalyst and the Ivor Drummer, which was pretty weird. Yeah, it's this one. So I'm in position, I'm waiting for a Navy Catalyst. Yes, I'm correctly started to scrum kite him, and when the Kitsune warps in. Of course, in these situations, you want to tackle the Kitsune and kill it first. So I leave, you can see I leave the scrum available, I don't scrum Navy Catalyst, I only web Navy Catalyst, but I scrum the Kitsune. And I kill the Kitsune. It jumps me, but it doesn't matter because I am shooting the ECM ship anyway. And after that, I switch to scrum kiting against Navy Catalyst, while face tanking him for a while. I end up being pretty low on tank because I had to spend so much time in the Navy Catalyst optimal range, but I had just enough tank to pull into a scrum range and then just finish him off. I was like quite cautious with my hitting on the medium rack here. I decided not to hit my MASBs because my scrum is very close to being burned out. So I decided just not to take any risks. And I ran my MASB charges without hit at the end. I felt like it's enough tank anyway to finish him off. So this one is pretty hectic. And the capsule was another like 300 or 350 million. So all in all, pretty decent one. This one is against the Thrasher. If I remember correctly, this is a very straightforward one. This is like a kiting Thrasher with artillery, but he positions himself completely wrong. He needs to be way further away from a hawk. So I just immediately get a scrum and web on him, and after that, it's very straightforward. The next one, I think it was against Navy Catalyst. Yeah, Navy Catalyst, I'm out of position. This one is actually a good demonstration why Hawk is so powerful in the current meta. Because you have Tech 2 resists against so many popular ships, you can even engage many brawlers out of position. Absolutely no problem, and just face tank them. Like against Blaster Navy Catalyst, yeah, I take some damage initially, but after that I just scrum kite. And if he switches to null, then okay, he still does not have enough damage to break a hawk. So you get very favorable matchups against most of the popular ships currently in the war zone. Ships like Navy Catalyst, Navy Comets, Navy Exequrors, you all have, against all of them, you have profile resists, and it makes tanking so much easier. The next one, I think the next one should be the loss, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's against Vengeance. So the Vengeance, these matchups are really down to the fit. If it's an afterburner Vengeance, but when you can't really break it, you need a different fit. In a Hawk, you need a dual web fit. In this case, you will apply more DPS and you will be able to escape. This fit that I'm using doesn't work because we have a similar control. It also has afterburner scrum and web, same as me. And once control is established, Vengeance has a permanent tank because of small armor rep, and I have like finite tank. I only have MASB. So eventually I will run out, but he will never run out of tank. I make a couple of mistakes here. I do not play it perfectly. For example, I'm shooting Inferno rockets, expecting that his thermal hole isn't plugged, but it's very clear from the damage log that his thermal hole is actually plugged. So I need to switch into the kinetic missiles because Hawk has bonus to kinetic missiles. And I also see that it's an afterburner feed, but I still shoot rage rockets. Faction rockets are a bit better, not as much as against Tech 1 and the Navy cruisers, because assault frigates are much slower, but it's still a bit better to shoot with faction missiles against afterburner assault frigates. But I don't do any of that, and I also didn't try to play out the higher range of a Hawk. I just kind of scrum kited him. But I think in any case, I looked at his feet. He is dual rep feet, and I just don't really break this amount of tank. In any case, even if I play it perfectly, I still lose. It's just like a fitting loss. There's nothing I can do. With this specific fit. With a different fit, you absolutely can. But in this specific case, not. Okay, so this was my second Hawk, and this one is the final third Hawk. This is against Kiting Thrasher. He was like super cautious. He never went closer than 50 kilometers to me. But in this case, you just try to show him that you are actually afterburner fit until he starts feeling confident and comfortable in the plex. And when you wait until his movement vector is in your direction, and then you just push with a micro warp drive and catch him. That's it. And once you get a scrum, it's over. So it's pretty straightforward. It's a bit of a couple of mind games, but it's very straightforward. Next one is a fight that I mentioned in the beginning. This is against Navy Exequror. This one will take a while. This is Blaster Navy Exequror with no webs, which is not a wise decision, so to say. Generally, if you go into faction warfare space, your cruiser should be able to deal with SIG tanking frigates, afterburner SIG tanking frigates. And for that, you need to have, well, medium newt ideally, but small newt at least. Or you need to be fitted with a lot of projection, like application, like webs, double webs maybe. Or you need a weapon system that can actually apply to frigates, like drones, not just one pack of drones, but like a full drone frigate, or rapid light missiles, or something like this. But in these feats, you're just gonna get killed like this one. In a frigate, you just kill the drones, and that's it. There is nothing a cruiser can do from that. So I kill his drones, and after that I just finish him off. It just takes a while, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. If you are in a cruiser that cannot really apply to the afterburning frigates, then you need to be quite cautious. When, for example, when you're in position and a frigate warps into you, like some kind of brawling frigate, when you need to be like away from the beacon and check if it's an afterburner fit. And if it's an afterburner fit, you cannot just go and brawl him, because this is what's gonna happen. Yeah, but this is like this is a matchup that many people don't really understand, that it's not safe for cruisers. You need to have like some hedge against signature tanking, or at the very least, you need to have active tank, like permanent active tank. This way, you can at least force a draw. Because frigates, they don't really have that much DPS, so if you can just perma-tank them, then there is a good chance that you will force a draw. But it's not like a good strategy really, because in the end someone will come and you will die anyway. It just won't be a solo kill. But yeah, this one ends in a slow and painful death a Navy Exequror, but does not apply like no damage to me. And I think the next one is the final fight. Yeah, this is against actually a group of ships. I have to engage a Kikimora because he appears solo. Do not do what I'm doing here. You shouldn't chase after kiters in an anti-kiting ship. You should try to slingshot them. But here, like, I know that with links, drugs, implants, I can just brute force. I don't need to do anything fancy. And I know that this guy is not solo, so I'm on a really short timer. Well, yeah, you can see what Retribution is already landing. I need to clear the Kikimora and then decide what to do next. I actually got quite greedy here. I could have simply warped out after finishing the Kikimora, but I thought that I have enough tank to fight Retribution. But the problem is I don't check the discount. And it's not just Retribution that's burning towards me, it's also an Orthrus. You can see, yeah, I I would have enough time to see that on discount and warp out. But I completely forgot about checking the discount. Fighting against Kikimora is fighting against Retribution here is fine. I can kill it with a remaining tank. But fighting against Retribution Orthrus, of course, doesn't work. And in general, my micromanagement here is a complete mess. It was very, very late. So yeah, I have some excuses here. So Orthrus gets a secondary point, and I just pop. Yeah. So overall, I would say Hawk performed pretty decent. If you want to go into insurgency zones in an assault frigate, then it's certainly one of decent options. You get pretty good matchups against many popular ships. And it's not really expensive. You don't need to bling anything. Just straight out tech to fit works perfectly fine with a couple of refits that I showed in a previous video. So yeah, if you want to fly assault frigates, this is a good choice, I think. Thanks for watching. I hope you find it interesting and instructive, and I will see you in the next videos. Bye bye.